Jay Anderson, your line is now live.
Hey, thanks very much. And Luke, welcome back. Just to start things off, talk to me about this matchup with Yannick. Obviously, a fair bit more experience with yourself, but I'm sure you're more than prepared for it.
How's it going, sir? Thank you for having me, everyone. Yeah, it's going to be a scrap. Like you said, Yannick is a more experienced opponent. The outcome, I don't believe, will change. It's going to be a war. I'm ready for a war. I've worked very hard for this fight. Yeah, I believe I'm going to finish Yannick within 15 minutes, but I'm looking forward to a scrap.
Obviously, you're the undefeated prospect coming into this, and I'm just curious how much pressure you put on yourself in terms of maintaining that perfect record.
No extra pressure than normal. Everything has stayed the same. I'm still as hungry as ever. I'm still on the exact same grind. In my opinion, I've accomplished nothing yet. This is just a start. I'm only 4-0, soon to be 5-0. So I've got a lot of work that needs to be done. This is another stepping stone, another human that's in my way. I'm fully focused, just as I was when I was 18, 19, having my first fight, as I am right now, 25, and as I will be when I retire on my last fight. I'm ready to go. I'm a savage, and I'm going to be a savage on Friday night.
Last one for me. How important was your amateur run to your career? Because obviously you racked up quite a bit of experience as an amateur.
Yes, so I had 10 fights, which in the UK, that's quite rare to do. I had 10 fights and 25 pull-outs. So the goal was to have 20 fights and then go pro. I wanted to be one of the most experienced light heavyweights, one of the most experienced UK MMA fighters going through that amateur roster. But big guys are few and far between, and there's a lot of wet wipes in the UK who tend to pull out last minute. So my amateur career, I'm very blessed that I was able to have 10 fights. It's not as experienced as I would have liked to be, but it served me well. I had a lot of different tests. I faced a lot of different opponents, and I do believe it set me up for a nice pro run. And now I'll just gain that experience on the pro scene, which I think will benefit me more.
Donald?
Luke, coming into this fight, now, I didn't know this was an emotion that necessarily you were able to have, but you seemed almost angry when there wasn't like a match for you after a couple of months, especially when you had offered to be an alternate in the tournament. Are you now back happy with Bellator and everything is good on that end?
I don't feel the type of way about saying this. I was fuming, sir. I wasn't angry. I was fuming. I had painted, and maybe it was a false pretense in my own head. I have nothing but love for Bellator. I'm so grateful that they've given me this opportunity, and I pray after my contract is done after this fight, we can work it out and I'll re-sign and I'll continue to build a legacy with Bellator. But I painted a pretense in my head and thought, right, they've built me up to be this prospect. I've worked so hard to gain a contract. Yeah, there's no fights in the UK, but there are fights in the States, and there's European guys going out to the States. I'll be going out to the States. When they didn't send me out and I had to wait another 12 months, I have such a chip on my shoulder about it. I don't know why they chose to do that. My management don't either, but you know what? They're giving me the opportunity now, and I'm very grateful for that. And I'm taking that chip on the shoulder as more fuel for the fire. So that's led up to an angry fight camp, but now there's nothing but love. And there was nothing but love from the start. And I think it's just in my own head. Maybe I'm painting a narrative that wasn't there. They just needed to get through their roster. But yeah, I was very, very angry. And I'm so grateful to Bellator now for giving me a fight. I want to relay that message. Thank you, everyone. Jude, Scott Coker, Mike Hogan, everyone else behind Bellator. And I'm hoping I put on a great performance. I put this guy away violently, and they're forced to give me another fight because the crowd wants me again. That's that is my belief, and that's my hope. And I want to be as active as possible after this fight.
Of course, you got your contract with Bellator through the Euro Fight Night competition. John Kavanagh and Kadu ran that tournament. Do you feel like you're on a scale of like 1 to 10, 10 being the contract is signed, sealed, delivered, 1 being, you're absolutely not going to be re-signing? Where do you feel you are with Bellator at the moment? No,
I'm very confident I'm going to re-sign with Bellator. I absolutely love Bellator. I don't want my last comments to put a spanner in that works.
No, of course, obviously.
I'm a very sensitive human, like a lot of fighters are. I'm very sensitive, and when I think something has been done wrong against me, or maybe I've pissed someone off or upset someone, I hold that personally to my chest. So yeah, please don't take that in any respect. But I pray that Bellator want to continue working with me. I love it here. The staff have been nothing but beautiful to me. This is life-changing money for me, and the experience is life-changing, and the level and caliber of the opponents is exactly what I want. I would hate to have to go back to the regional circuit and have to work my way up for opponents who I believe I shouldn't be in there with. I want to be tested. I want nothing but smoke, and that's what I'm getting at Bellator. So, I mean, I don't ever want to say 100% because you never know what's going to happen, and I can't speak for Bellator, but I want nothing more than to sign with Bellator after this fight.
All right, best of skill on Friday night, man. I really hope you get a big win.
Thank you, sir.
Bobby, go ahead.
Hi, Luke. Bobby from MMA UK. So you already touched upon this a little bit before. Obviously, Yannick is a very experienced guy. You know, he's fought some names like Mike Shipman, Dricus du Plessis, Melvin Manhoef. How much of a step up in competition do you see this fight as?
It is a step up. This human is very experienced. You know, he's 9-5, and he's fought some of the best fighters in the UK and some of the best fighters in the world. You know, Dricus du Plessis, I've trained with him myself out in South Africa, and I know how much of a monster he is. So it is a step up on opponents, and on paper he is very experienced, and he is a dangerous human regardless. He's a savage. That's why I'm so excited about this fight. But I've had hard nights in my past before. Just in terms of MMA, I've fought 3 fights, 3 humans in one night. And I destroyed each human. So I did exactly what I had to do. That was a hard night for me. That was a hard night of fights, to go in there and fight 3 human beings and then finish my last fight the way I did against a scary guy who had knocked out his last guys all in 30 seconds each round. So that was a difficult one for me. But on paper, this is my most experienced opponent, and in my belief, this has the highest chance of being a war. I've said it the entire fight camp. I'm ready to come home with my shield, or I'm ready to go home on my shield. But I expect nothing but violence, and this guy's not just gonna fall over when I hit him. He's gonna come for war, and I'm ready for war.
Andy?
Hi, Luke. Nice to speak to you.
What's happening, sir?
Probably more important than your fight this week, is Cooking with the Gent going to come back?
yeah, let's go. Yeah, I think so, man. I miss it. I miss it if I'm honest, and even now I still get messages. Thank you for taking me out of that mindset for a moment. Yeah, I've got a few recipes up my sleeve. I'm ready to shock the world with some more culinary magic. But let's do that after the fight. But I'm ready, man. Yeah, the people want it, and I have to give the people what they want at the end of the day. So yeah, Cooking with a Gent episode flipping 14, I think I'm on. It's coming. And I want to make it more regular. I know people are dying for it. People are starving of hunger right now because they don't know what to make. Your chef's coming back, my friends, all right? I'm sorry I haven't been away.
The world's most terrifying chef is something that I think you could definitely move into. And finally, as well, as someone who is 6'6" and for some mad reason is able to make 205 pounds, with your skill set, do you look at that heavyweight division and think there's definitely, that's where I see my future?
I've mentioned it a couple of times this week on some interviews. I am 100% going to go to heavyweight. I will 100% hold 2 world titles at heavyweight. The cut is getting trickier. It's okay. You know, I pride myself on my discipline, so I've made this weight no problem. And I can continue to do that for a good few years. But I see no reason why I can't take some fights at heavyweight and do light heavyweight at the same time. Jump from back and forth. And once my body's fully developed, once I hit that sort of 28 to 32 range, I'll begin my major reign at heavyweight. But I believe that's in my future. And whether I do that mix and match between light heavy and heavy now, or whether I just wait until the time's right. But yeah, I can't wait, man. Pack on the muscle and just chill. I can have steaks the night before a fight. It's going to be a beautiful thing, rather than flipping rice cakes and raw salmon or whatever I've got tonight.
Packing on the pounds with the gent.
Oi, Cooking with a Gent. What? Time to get thick, boys.
Pleasure to speak to you, Luke, man. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you, Andy. Cheers, brother.
Kobe, go ahead.
Hi, Luke. Kobe from Pro Sports Podcasters in Canada. Now, given that both you and your opponents are from England, have you actually seen Yannick fight before or no?
Yeah. Oh, I never live. But
Okay.
I've actually, I've watched his fights for a while, and from my end at least, I don't know how he feels, but from my end, there's so much mutual respect there. He's trained with my team before. I was actually out on the day he come in, but he's trained with my team. I know he's friends with some of my teammates. I've watched some interviews of him really opening up about his life and about his personal life and his fight life and how raw he was, and I respect that completely. I'm friends with some of his teammates. I've got nothing but respect, and he's a savage, like I said. And in terms of UK guys, big guys, he comes for violence every time. So I've never watched him live. I've watched him online, and I've got nothing but respect for the human.
And you're undefeated, and you've made a point of wanting to keep that going, of course. But what I like is the fact that you say you don't just want to win, you want to win impressively. That's something you don't usually hear from an undefeated fighter. How important is it for you to actually go out and really perform every time?
So yeah, for me, it's everything. I want to go out there and finish a human. If I come away with a decision and I've played it safe, what have I done? We're in the fight business. We're in the business of trying to hurt each other. This is I pride myself on living a life now of a modern day gladiator. Do you know what I mean? I'm a shogun. So it's not time for tippy tap and all that jazz. It's time to go in there, tuck your chin, and try and hurt each other. So yeah, again, that's why I'm excited about this scrap. I know I pray he's not gonna try and play it safe, and he's not just gonna try and take me down and conserve his energy. He might, and I'm ready for that too. But I think we're gonna go in there and scrap, and it's what the fans want. It's what I want. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait, man.
Right on.
Santiago.
Hi, Luke. Greetings from Amsterdam, and thank you for the time.
My man,
Yannick,
what's going on?
it's all good. Yannick fought against Melvin Manhoef, and he had a very tough night against the Dutchman. Did you watch this fight, Luke? And did you see things from Melvin that you want to use for yourself?
Not necessarily. He countered the kick very well. Obviously, Melvin Manhoef coming from a kickboxing background and being a glory legend. His instincts to counter every strike is there. He has that Dutch style where if you throw a leg kick, it better be set up with the hands or it better be sharp, and you better know you're doing it and expect a counter. Yannick didn't do that. Melvin capitalized and did what he does best. He got on top. I personally wouldn't have gone straight in, just because obviously Yannick would have had the experience on the ground, but he was already hurt from the shot. Melvin took advantage, and you saw what happened. But yeah, Melvin's a savage. I've been a big fan of him as well. Obviously, I'm still young in the game, and he's one of the legends now. So yeah, again, nothing but respect for him. In terms of takeaways, though, obviously he played his game and I've got mine. So tactics will change. We're very different fighters, but yeah, you can always take something away from each opponent and their opponents that they faced prior.
Look, last year I learned that you are helping out children who face very traumatic experience. I just wanted to say thank you for doing this. Good luck on fight night, sir.
My man, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you.
Ronald Smith.
This is Ronald E. Smith from Getting Real. Luke, just to walk back a bit, you talk about how you keep fighting with a chip on your shoulder and how much you have belief in yourself. I just want to know, where does that come from? Is that from self-motivation, or have you learned that from other people around you who help lift you up?
It's a tricky one. I'm very disciplined. I'm a creature of habit, and I live with discipline. I was fortunate enough to grow up with two parents that absolutely love me, and they brought an ethos into the house where you have to work for what you want. You have to support your loved ones, and your loved ones will support you. But at the end of the day, you're on your own. So you do what you need to do, and they'll be proud of me regardless. I kind of lived my life with that and thought, cool, if I want something, I have to go out there and get it. I've done that since I was 18. I dedicated my life to this. I didn't live a life of a regular 18-year-old. I didn't live a life of a regular teenager into my early 20s. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. My life is fighting. And all I want in life is to help human beings and to be a savage in a cage. So when that's all I want, my focus is so easy to stay disciplined on that. I don't want anything else. So it's not hard for me to get up and go to the gym 4 times a day. If that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do. I'm self-motivated and self-critical because this is my life and I love it. And I'm grateful I get to live it. There's people out there who don't like their life, and I feel so much for them human beings, and I refuse to be one of them. So I'm getting to flip it and live my beautiful life each and every day, man.
Thank you very much.
So,
Ty Matthews.
How you doing, Luke?
good, sir. How are you?
I'm good, mate. So I want to ask you something. How much progress have you made since you first started fighting, do you believe?
A lot. Since like every fighter, since I first started, I think I had my first fight at 19. I was raw and I was in love with jiu-jitsu. I would rush for a takedown, choke him out, get up and do it again. In terms of my skill set, I've improved everywhere. But if I hadn't, I've been training for nearly 7 years now. So if I hadn't, I'd be stressed. But yeah, I'm a completely different savage and a completely different athlete to what I was when I first fought.
Now, you've had a few amateur fights before you started your pro career. Some fighters just jump right into the deep end. How do you feel fighting amateur helped you in your pro career so far?
It was massive. Shout out to my coaches who guided me with that. I started with Team Junk Boat with Mustafa Al-Turk. Then I moved over to Team Titan with Mickey Papas and Brad Pickett. And I was guided perfectly, I believe. Those 10 fights allowed me to build a skill set and a mentality that I needed to be ready for a pro scene. You know, now I'm pro. I was 3-0 and went straight to Bellator. Not many fighters do that. You know, they build up, they get a bigger record, they have to get experience, they have to fight a striker, a wrestler, an overall MMA athlete. Me, I did that when I was an amateur. Now I'm ready for the big leagues and I can take on anyone in this division because of my amateur record and because of the way I was built up. So fighting as an amateur, for any athletes out there, for any MMA fighters out there who want to start, make sure you get your experience as an amateur and build. There's no rush to go pro. Build, and when you're ready, your time will come.
And lastly, do you have a message for your opponent, Yannick?
No, sir. No. He knows what he's doing. I know what I'm doing. Let's go to war.
Mills.
Hey, how's it going? It's MMA Locker Room. Hey, Luke, I just want to tell you something. It seems like a lot of people are attracted to records and belts. But with you, you have this charismatic personality that just draws me straight to you. And I think a lot of people are going to find it easily to root for you out here. In this MMA business that we're in, it seems like the personality of a fighter really determines how much the crowd gets behind them. How do you feel the show that you're going to be able to put on for your people? And how do you feel that helps you out?
So I'll be honest with you, I've never given the way I am thought to attract a crowd. You know, I don't tailor how I am to think, all right, cool, am I going to sell pay-per-views? I live my life how I live my life. I flipping love my life. I do what I try and do every single day. And if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. My performance is what I care about. I'm going to go in there and have a war and be a savage, and it's going to be violent. That will attract people. If people enjoy my personality and they like me and they want to watch me and they want to get involved with what I'm involved in, beautiful. If I can get one person to say, yo, I want to be a foster carer because you told me about foster caring, then flipping my life is set. That's better than selling pay-per-views to me. So if I leave that legacy in MMA, this fighter attracted people to help other human beings, man, beautiful. Everything else is extra and out of my control and something I don't really care about. I have the people around me. I have my family, my loved ones. Fans are fans, and I'll be honest with you, fans can be quite wishy-washy. One day you're winning, they love you. The next day they hate you. This sport is black and white. It is what it is. Right. But what I do in my life, if that makes people want to do what I do, flipping lovely, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, last one here. Todd.
Hey, Chef Luke, how you doing there? This is Todd from over here across the pond in America. Hey, you had just mentioned earlier that you were just a little more than upset about not being able to get your shot over here in America during the pandemic. Curious, once things settle down here and folks are able to start traveling again, and once you get a couple of W's under here, obviously you got to fight under your belt. You looking at America in your future, possibly to move the train to when it comes time to make that next big step? I mean, a lot of fighters have done it. Just curious what your thoughts were.
So I love the States. I've been there before. I've gone to every big gym you can think of in America. I've been there. I love my team, Team Titan. That's my home. That's where I'm going to be. For sure, I'll travel again just to get different bodies in. In terms of getting out there and fighting, I have a hit list already. You're going to find out on Friday night who I want to fight next. But right now, my mission is Yannick Bahati. After that, we'll deal with the next opponent. In terms of moving out there, if I could get my family out there with me, I'm gone. If I can move to California, surf all day and train, I'm a happy man. But hopefully one day with a small fortune, I can travel back and forth. My team is so strong here. I love them human beings. They support me. I support them. There's no reason why I need to move. But to get different training bodies every now and then for sparring, it's a great opportunity to go to them mega gyms. So yeah, mixed feelings. But in terms of one day moving out there, if I can bring my family and I have to, then I will 100%.
Appreciate you, Chef. Hey, we're looking forward to the next recipes you got.
My man, if you want anything in particular, hit me in the DMs, all right?
Hey, make it spicy.
Talk to me, sir. Let's go.
All right, Luke. Thanks very much for the time. Good luck on Friday.
So if I can add one thing before you have you finished the recording?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
You're rolling. I wanted to mention it in interviews. It's just a flipping to anyone out there who wants to do something great, whether it's MMA or not, and they're dreaming of doing something and they can't seem to reach a tangible goal. My dad reminded me, I come here when I was 17 to watch the UFC. Before I started training, I was just a fan of MMA, and for a birthday present, my dad brought me, we stayed the night in the Hilton and watched the UFC that weekend. We went to the elevator for the fight night and he said, Boise, this is the same place we stayed for the UFC fight. So cut 7 years forward, I'm in the exact same hotel where I passed fighters and thought, flip, them man are like gods. Oh, I hope one day like I can meet some of them or just be friends with some of them. Now I'm one of the human beings fighting at Wembley Arena in front of thousands of human beings. 7 years ago, I was a little boy here for my birthday. So to anyone out there who has dreams and you're struggling to believe it's tangible, listen, work, grind, believe in yourself, surround yourself by love, and it will happen, man. Just flipping, keep dreaming, my friends. All right. I wanted to put it out there because it really hit home when I got in the hotel. It was amazing, man. So yeah, man, thank you for your time, human beings. I love you, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Luke. Thanks a lot, man.
Sir, thank you.
Take care.